Well, let's get this episode rolling.
All right.
This is a bit of a special episode.
Special. It's different. In one sense, it's different because we're sitting at my kitchen table.
True.
New setting.
Yeah.
We out there. And this is not going to be a regular podcast.
Exactly. We wanna spice things up. You know, we want to experiment with a couple of things, and this is one of those. Since we live in the Netherlands, and disclaimer, you know, if our parents are listening to this, what's up? But since we are living in the Netherlands, we decided, why not record a podcast while on Magic Truffles? Might as well.
Yeah. And just a disclaimer, just because we do drugs doesn't mean you need to do drugs. So don't do drugs too often.
Don't do drugs if you're scared of it.
Yeah.
You need to have that mindset of like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and then, you know.
But yeah, since you can do whatever the fuck you want, we can do whatever the fuck we want. And for us, that's truffles.
Exactly.
They're called the Philosopher's Stones.
Yeah.
That's a nice name.
Yeah, it sounds kind of Greek too, Tempanesis or whatever. So we figured we're going to snack them, and then they take like 20 minutes.
You have done truffles before, right?
Yeah, like twice. I've done, again, shout out to my parents listening. I think I did truffles twice and magic mushrooms once.
Okay.
So, but it's been a while. It's also like a year for me. So, but let's see. You got to put it down. Right. Okay.
Now, for people who don't know, this is kind of looks like really small, disgusting popcorn.
Yeah.
And we have to eat it, but it's really disgusting. It's known for being like eating dirt, I think.
Yeah, it's a good comparison. It's also a lot, like 15 grams.
Yeah.
We're going to put a picture up on Instagram, I think.
Now, my question is, am I going to sniff? Or shouldn't I sniff?
It's not too bad. It smells like mushrooms, like earthy mushrooms.
Oh, yeah. Really, yeah. It just smells like regular mushrooms.
Well, on that note, I guess one thing, like when you eat it, you're not supposed to like swallow it. You're supposed to like chew them for a long time.
Okay.
So I guess
bon appetit.
Yeah, bon appetit.
Do we just go one by one, or?
I mean, for the first one, and then we can.
Okay. So we just chew on them.
Yeah.
When do we swallow then?
Just like if it's just like mushy, I guess.
Okay.
All right. Cheers.
Right. Tastes not too bad. Do you grew up with my mom's cooking?
now that her moms are definitely listening when they see the cover and shit.
You know, like when you buy like a heated meal and it says tastes just like your mom made, and I'm like, no, disgusting. Never mind.
No, I'm not having that.
No, sorry, mom. I like your cooking. From time to time. Kind of has an acidy taste, aftertaste.
An STD taste?
An acidy, kind of like acid.
Have you done acid before?
No, but like an acidy taste.
Like an STD? You mean like chemical?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the more you eat, the worse it gets.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, man.
We are butchering through them in a rapid speed, but it's really not nice.
No, like if you at home you feel inspired from what we may be talking about in the future, but they do taste disgusting.
Yeah.
Just really like disgusting.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily the flavor, but the aftertaste is really just disgusting. Really chemically. I don't know. But maybe we can have a conversation while we eat them.
Yeah, sure.
And then, because right now I'm just thinking about the flavor. Maybe we can start a conversation midway. Have a shot of them.
Yeah, sounds good.
Because I fell in love with this new program I found. It's Dutch.
Okay.
And Belgium. And it's regular people who sign up to be trained like the special forces.
Oh, that sounds fun. Okay.
And it's really fucked up. Like they sleep for a couple of hours every night and have to do really physically, mentally as well, demanding tasks. And one of them was, okay, well, you need to be prepared to give your all. So here are some boxing gloves. And in 3 minutes, you have to fight the MMA champion. And you know you're gonna get hit, you know. And they let you wait for 3 minutes, so that fucks with your mind. And while you wait, you can hear someone else fighting. So you can hear your mates getting hurt. And then you go up there and they literally come back with like bruised eyes, fractured ribs and shit.
Holy fuck. How much
bloody
is it?
noses.
That sounds like some type of shit that like rich people do for like 10 grand.
Yeah, and they win nothing. There's no prize. Honor.
People like suffering.
Yeah.
People like suffering.
Honor is the prize. Yeah, they really want to see how far they can push themselves. And for example, they also had a kidnap where they would need to hide in a forest overnight and wait to get kidnapped, or try not to get try not to get kidnapped.
They're just chilling.
And once they find you, they punish you.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah. And it was in the middle of the night, 3 degrees outside Celsius, 3 degrees Celsius. And it just took a whole, like, 1.5 liter bottle of water and put it in your neck. And then you're wet and cold for the entire night.
Oh, man. What type of program? So you wanna go there?
No. Might be fun if we could do something like that as a video. See who breaks first.
Oh, fuck. I feel like we're gonna get, I don't know, there's probably like a Dutch pair that's also doing the same shit. I don't know if you know Yoko and Klaas. It's like a German TV duo that they have this really, really successful TV show, right? It's like Yoko versus Klaas, the match of the world or something, right?
Okay.
And it's like basically the way it's set up, their life in a studio. But before that, like, I don't know how long the production has, right? But either one of them has a production team that's following them around, and they give each other tasks to do everywhere in the world. And they are the most fucked up tasks. It was
like what?
Boxing a kangaroo. Drinking apucaluca in Brazil. Like, I forgot the real term for it. It's also like a psychedelic drink.
All right.
Like the strongest in the world, right? Like shit like that. Like eat haggis on a flying plane. Like they give no fucks, right?
Jeez.
And you only get the point if you do it, and if you don't, then you don't get the point. And then in the end, who wins? Wins.
Ah, and it's also like a prize then, or is just honor of I won?
It's just their friendship. They started on YouTube like way back with these like I think who can the longest. And If I Were You, like those were like the most famous things, were like, it's basically the same thing. Like, for example, they'd just go to like somewhere where it's really cold, and they like both sit in like a rubber boat and each get like 3 items to like get some shit, and whoever gives up first loses,
Aye, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, they did some crazy shit in their time.
The thing from the program I mentioned that was really fucked up to me and must be hella weird is that they need to prepare for everything, and the basically endlessness. They need to be prepared to not know when you're gonna stop. So you would get 1 hour sleep. They wouldn't know. They would just get to sleep, and then when they wake you up, you need to wake up. And then like in the middle of the night, fucking dark out, they put you in a boat. You start rowing, and they say, you start rowing, and you don't know for how long. In the end, it was 8 hours that they rowed for.
Your body is so done.
Yeah, and they do fucked up shit where you need to walk for like 10 kilometers, and then they pretend like they make a finish line, but it's not a real one, and then you need to do another 10.
Oh, that is so mean.
Yeah.
Just also like psychologically fucking with people then, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Damn. That's fucked up, man.
I mean, it must be really fucked up to start rowing on water and just not knowing when you're gonna end in 1 hour, in 8, in 10. You have no fucking idea.
Wild. That is...
So they really teach you to be in the moment and not worry about how long you need to do this. Just know, okay, I need to do this now.
Like, what's the thing that you've done that comes closest to this? Like, what would you say is like the time where you like were intensifying your body the most over like a span of time?
Oh, that's a really good question. Intensifying. Maybe you have an example ready, because then I can think about it for longer.
The one thing that would come to mind is like a football training camp. Like we had these spring football camps. Like, of course, like football in Germany is something different than football in America, because there's something that's called Hell Week. That's high school football, I think, where the students are literally like same thing. They get fucked for a week week straight, like also no sleep, running fucking 15 kilometers every day and like shit like that, right? So I think like we had like a weekend where it was kind of also like that, just like, 6 a.m. running, then practice lunch, or like practice breakfast, practice lunch, practice, so that was really, but that was like only a weekend. So, but I'd say that was the most.
Yeah, I think I kind of have the same with fencing. We also had those weeks where you would just train for an entire week. And, but it wasn't that tough necessarily, like the way you described it. I know I was young. I was like 10 or something. And then, and I was 10, and every other Sunday I trained for 6 hours.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, that was when I...
With 6 hours every Sunday.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. That was pretty tough. And,
sounds like it. You wanna kick another batch?
Have another shot? How much do you have left in your container?
Almost as much, I'd say.
Yeah, I think
maybe let's keep this for like...
Yeah, that's...
a little bit.
But we if we eat this right now, we ate most of it.
Yeah, like then we probably ate like 10, 11 grams out of 15. Maybe more even.
Yeah, I think more. There's really not that much. I think we have like 12.
Yeah, could be. And either way, man, let's see this shit. All right, cheers.
Okay, I'm really... the tea is also way too hot to drink.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the tea bag.
Now you can just put it on the... Oh, actually, now that we have these here, this is a great marketing... I don't know if it's a marketing trick, but this is a great thing that a Dutch tea brand does. You have the little card, and at the end of a tea bag, and they... Fuck, wrong one. They ask questions on the back. So you have like a tea question. So when you're drinking tea with someone, you have a conversation starter.
That's nice.
So this one says, what are you grateful for?
I am grateful for this moment. Don't want to be cheesy, but I think that's the first thing that comes to mind. And I feel like we as people always live too much in the past or in the future. So why not be grateful for this moment? It's also nice. We have an empty apartment.
True.
Recording a podcast, eating truffles.
I mean, just the fact that we can do this, just decide we want to do truffles on a podcast, and we can, and we don't really need to worry about anything. That makes sense. Because that's also when I watched the army shit. That was kind of admiring to see that they only need to worry about doing their test. They don't need to worry about paying rent or food or shelter. They get that. Yeah. But they just worry about being in the moment. And
that's nice in a certain way. Yeah. That is very true.
I came across a great quote this week, and I don't know the person who said it. I would love to give him credit, but I don't know.
Fuck that dude.
It was, the old is already dead and the new cannot be born.
The old is already, and the new cannot be born?
Yeah, but
like the new old?
Just the new. But the way I would like to say it, I would like to make a change to that, is the old is already dead and the new is yet to be born. Because I feel like that's the situation we're in right now. Yeah. We're kind of in an in-between stage.
Yeah. And I think I think that's a beautiful transition for the Wall Street thing. Because it is something that I personally need to talk about. It's very interesting. But
you first want to take the shot, or
kick a shot before we talk about the Wall Street, and then eat some truffles before you invest. All right. So Wall Street. I think it's talked about everywhere right now. And I don't really have any idea about stocks. I'm just kind of in the middle of it, just like chilling, because I invested in GameStop and Nokia.
Mm-hmm.
Which
GameStop has been in the news lately.
Oh yeah. So necessarily, do you know in general what happened, or?
I think I'm not sure why, but I know it was needed that people invested in the stock. Well, not investing in the stock. They were. I think just explain it, because I don't.
So the way it happened is there are certain people on Wall Street called short sellers and hedge funds. I don't really know what a hedge fund is, but I think it's rich people, right? That's what I gathered from it, or at least something that rich people do. I don't know if it's like a person or whatever. Anyways, so short selling is a thing where you say, oh, this stock's gonna go down, right? Mm-hmm. And you bet money on it. There's like a certain principle where you say that a stock is going to get lower, and then you're gonna buy it again for like the lower price, and then you get the profit margin in between.
Yeah.
So that's what the hedge fund people tried to do, right? And then Reddit found out about it. And when Reddit said, but GameStop, I like this stock, right? That's like the meme. Like Reddit just started saying, I like this stock, you know? And Elon tweeted it too then. Elon came on the Discord of like a Reddit forum and also said like, oh yeah, let's all buy GameStop, you know, like that type of shit. And then the stock went from like, I think $10 a share to 390 in a day, right? So all the people that had short sold, they still need to buy the shares, right? Because they just borrowed it necessarily, which means that because of that, they couldn't sell their shares for like the price they bought it. They had to pay an insane amount. Like they lost billions, and I mean billions, right? So then Wall Street is like, yeah, this is illegal market manipulation, but it's shit that they've been doing for years, right?
Yeah.
But now it's the people doing it, which is, there's the problem, right?
Yeah, and in general, it's a very weird law with that you can have insight into market simulation, and also I don't know what the other law is called, but it's very hard to monitor and to decide if that's the case or not. Yeah.
Anyway, so then, that happened the first day. That's also where I got in. I invested a little bit of money in there. And then the next day came and everybody was like, oh yeah, let's keep shooting the stock up, right? But then something happened with the providers and the platforms where you can buy stocks as a regular person, right? They banned the stocks from being purchased. You can only sell, which is illegal. It's market manipulation, right?
That's not a free market.
It's not a free market. So now there's class action file suits like out here against every platform that, ghosted those shares necessarily, especially Robinhood, which is like the biggest one in the States, right? So, a lot of people are like, this is market manipulation. And now we'll see what happens, I guess. But Wall Street is pissed, and the people have maybe found a way to control the system through stocks. Cause that's my thought when I read this. It's like stock market. Yeah, that's all cool. That's fun and games, right? But if we know one thing, that companies control the governments, right? Because they have much more control and much more power because they have a lot more money. So now with the stock market and how it's set up as a free market, and if we just all combine our ape powers and build a tribe, we can shoot up and blow down stocks however we want to if we work as a community and control the market that way.
Yeah. That's fucking sick, honestly.
It is.
And to think about that also just with Area 51, our main power as not having money or like being a normal citizen is that we are a lot.
Yeah. And
if we just unite, then we're fucking unstoppable.
There's this one quote from the Ants movie in Disney, which I love, right? It's like the
I've never seen that movie.
Me neither. But I just saw that one picture and that quote from the ant, right? It's like the Ant King or whatever, right? And the Ant King just like spits facts, right? I think it's somewhere around the lines like, yeah, it's not about the money and the food that the ants make. It's about keeping them in control. And if they realize that they are so much more than us, they could easily overpower us. And that's in a kids movie.
Jesus.
So like it's kind of crazy, but it's true,
Fuck.
If we really would unite as people, I don't think they want that.
And also I'm starting to notice the first symptoms of the truffles, I think.
What do you mean?
The tingling sensation. Because in case people call bullshit on us, we didn't eat. Before we took the truffles, we made sure we had an empty stomach. So
which you're supposed to.
Yeah. I'm just popping out another tea question because
fuck it.
At least I didn't make a topic list for this episode.
Let me check. But yeah, go with the question.
What are 3 things you can't live without?
That's a tough question.
My microphone, the laptop, and might as well the podcast.
Truffles, wheat, MDMA. No, I think like three things I can't live without. That's I wouldn't generally say. I'd say internet.
Okay.
Even though it's Gen Z or whatever, but internet is just kind of crucial right now. I guess, air.
Okay, let's change this up. Let's just say objects.
3 objects, so like materialistic objects.
Yeah.
I mean, I think...
Don't say your girlfriend.
No. Even though it's an object, but... I'd say my computer. It's because you can do just a lot with it. A bed. It's a nice object. I prefer to sleep on that rather than the floor. And... sandwich maker. What about you?
The sandwich maker. My 3 objects that I would pick, I think, might sound stupid, but definitely a lighter, because it's so versatile.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Oof. Now I'm thinking like, okay, I have fire. Now I need water, right? Or what can I own it?
But like, I think it also really depends on the situation you're in.
Yeah.
Like, is it like deserted island? Because then a computer doesn't bring the shit.
Yeah. Okay. But 3. Okay. Let's just answer this very simply. 3 things I wouldn't be able to live without in my daily life. As for right now, is my shower, my stove, and my bed.
Yeah. Well, fair. Man, I have one thing written down actually on the talking points list.
All right.
About the Super Bowl, right? Which is on the 7th, I think. Anyways, it's about an advertisement, right? So I've been watching the NFL, and they had this big advertisement in the last game, right? Oh, here's a chance. 7,500 healthcare workers are invited to the Super Bowl. Requirement, they need to be vaccinated. So I just wanted to bring this up because I thought it was interesting, right?
Makes you think, huh?
Like, it's a nice thing, but the gotta be vaccinated part is also like, I get it that they want to promote, like, that people want to, shoot that shit up their veins. And it's everybody's decision, of course. But I don't know.
It makes you think, though.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, very.
Also quite funny, my cousin, his girlfriend, got vaccinated and then was infected by COVID 3 days later because it takes a while to work.
Rip. Rip.
Yeah.
I also got COVID tested twice now, which this time was really like a little bit of a scare, but...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we won't be naming any names, but...
No, of course not. But I managed to stay out of trouble.
That's good.
I guess. Yeah, definitely.
You dodged the bullet.
Huh?
You dodged the bullet there.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Or maybe we already had it. That's also a thing we don't know.
Also true. I don't know. This whole virus shit is weird. I also heard the Dutch government wants us to pay for tests now. I don't know if that's true or not.
I haven't read about that.
Okay.
But the Netherlands out there regarding COVID.
Yeah, also true.
Fucking morons.
The north is kind of chill, though.
The north is chill, but the south is going crazy.
Wild.
And I don't know. Someone said it's world news. I don't know about that.
Well, I definitely hear a lot, but from German people.
No.
I wouldn't say that's like world news. It's kind of like still close.
But for people who are maybe listening to this at a later point, or if they don't know, there are riots in the Netherlands because we got a curfew.
Yeah. Which is also the reason why we're eating truffles at 4. But we're holding, we're just applying to the laws.
But kind of weird that, because initially it was said it's a protest against the curfew.
Okay.
But it just kind of seems like people are making use of the situation. Because they're not protesting against the government. They're looting small stores, small business owners who were already fucked over by the government and now are really, now there's no way of surviving for them.
Weird shit, man.
Yeah.
We're in a weird time right now. Like, we've been saying this, but like, I don't know where we're going to be in 5 years. It's going to be interesting.
Two moments I loved. One was they thought they flipped a police car, but it was just a car that belonged to the railway station. So that was pretty funny.
Big brain move right there.
And Yeah, this is going to be an issue in the Netherlands because most of the people who rioted appear to be Moroccan or Turkish or of that ethnicity.
Okay.
I don't want to imply anything. I personally don't think anything of it, but I know a lot of people will think something of it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that's already going on.
Yeah.
And there was this one white dude, like, I don't know why there was one white dude out there, but he was also rioting and talking to some news reporters. And then later that day, there were some videos of him like rioting. And then there was a really nice video of him being carried out by his parents, getting punished and going home.
Rip. I wonder, like, every time when I read shit like that, you know, like, when you said like about ethnicity, like Moroccan or like refugees, as people also love to call it, you know,
Yeah.
I always wonder when it is that case, like, is it just what the news is saying or is it what's actually happening?
Well, for me, this was just what I saw from videos taken at the riots.
Okay. But that's always an interesting thing because we talk about framing in media a lot. And I think when it comes to that, it's also people push agendas all the time, everywhere. So
yeah,
I don't know.
But I don't know what the fuck is going on right now. But I really wish people would just, I don't know, just act normal. But yeah, what is normal is a good question then. But don't fuck over small business owners like that.
Yeah, they bleed enough.
Yeah.
Like that's just like if you want to go ahead and rub a media mark, you know, don't want to encourage anyone, but
they did that as well though. So they didn't.
Oh, okay. But just go after big franchises and not small businesses. If you really want to loot, you know, like no need to, but still, just opening tea bags for the questions.
Ooh. I think if you translate this to English, you can interpret it in two ways.
Okay.
What's your favorite place? We already know that, Bosnia.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite spot?
Oh, favorite spot. So like in Dutch, it's just one term?
Yeah. Well, it can be interpreted in two ways.
Okay. So same shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was some specialty when it comes to English. Favorite spot. I'd say, I think when it comes to that, it always has to be a place where you have a lot of memories for a certain place.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that you connect to certain things. And, I don't know, two places come to mind. I had like a not old, it was still running, but like a gravel mine type right next to my house. And I always like to go there. Like when I was not feeling well, it's just like taking a walk, climbing the fence because it was legal to be there. You know, it was still a vibe. It was hella beautiful. And just like at the canal, at a park bench, a lot of great conversations there. What about you?
Actually, I remember when I lived back on the farm. You know, the Netherlands flat as fuck.
Yeah.
But I think like a kilometer back, there was this one sandhill with a nice little river puddle thing. That was a nice spot. Made a lot of nice memories there.
Yeah.
But also just roofs. If we talk about spots like roofs.
Yeah.
Roofs are always great.
Roofs are always a vibe.
Yeah.
100%.
You never get to a roof and don't make a good memory.
True. Also, one place that also comes to mind when we talk about roofs, my old elementary school. I always climbed up the roof there and chilled. That was a big vibe.
Yeah.
Big vibe.
I mean, we even had a roof chillings in Bosnia.
Ooh, also big vibe. In Bosnia, you gotta figure out your temperature change. But besides that, but it was a nice vibe.
Yeah.
Bosnia in general, just
the video is still out there if you guys wanna.
Yeah, you just gotta send us voice messages. All you need.
We don't need you guys. We're strong, independent males.
That's wild. And now it's a weird thing. Like we live in a world right now where we're just not traveling anymore.
Nope.
Just dead ass not traveling. It's gonna be so weird to be on like the first trip. When does this? But we always say, when does this over? Will it ever be?
Yeah.
You know, like how long did the plague last?
Even something simple like, oh yeah, the first time we will go out again, it's gonna be so fucking lit. And then you think about it, probably not.
No.
Probably it's gonna be very restricted
and awkward. Because everybody has no social skills anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody lost them. Like, and you can see it in people, you know, like we met a friend at the market today, and even she was just kind of like, you know, she said, oh yeah, I've just been with family like the past month and a half. Saw a friend once, you know, and like just from the short interaction, you can just tell that people, and me too, you know, we struggle with social contact more than we did before.
Yeah, for real though. And I don't know. I really hate that term, the new normal, like that they say things are never going back to normal. It's going to be the new normal. I fucking hate that term because I don't want that.
It's also, we also took so much shit for granted back then.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
And I hate it. There was this studies in Frankfurt, I think, that estimated that things would not go back to like normal as we knew it for like 7 years.
I don't like that. That's our whole 20s, bro. That's our whole 20s, basically.
Our prime. Our fucking prime.
Man, that's rude. They can't do that to us, man. They really can't. That's just fucked up.
How are we feeling, Truffles Eyes?
I don't know. I feel good.
Oh, I'm definitely fucking high right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you mean? How what?
Like slow motion? Like everything is... Not you, though. That's the weird thing. To me, you're going hella fast. And I'm going in slow motion with everything.
Okay. I mean, I think what I can is just I'm focusing right now.
Yeah.
I feel focused.
I gotta say, your pupil's big as fuck, though.
Man, your eyes are brown. You can't see shit. The same as when I did the cover. It's just also like, you squint and I'm like, fuck, I can't make this pupil bigger. But how are you feeling?
Feeling good.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's kind of like smoking weed, but like when you get really high from weed.
Yeah. But you do feel really high.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I feel like I'm smiling a lot.
Yeah,
That's the one thing I figure out right now.
And it's kind of that weird high feeling, that kind of knowing you're high, but then also forgetting that you're high and starting sentences and then thinking, why the fuck did I start this sentence?
Just overthinking?
Yeah, the overthinking part, that's definitely...
I don't have that right now.
No?
I'm just keeping at it, you know. It's a podcast. Whatever we say, you know, a lot of people listening. Shout out to the 14 people listening in India.
They still listening?
I don't know. I haven't checked the stats in a minute. But that was still baffling to me. Baffling? Baffling?
Baffling.
God damn it.
You good?
Yeah. It's just, you know, it's the more people say it like, oh, I'm feeling something, you know, like then you really start thinking about it. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. For drugs, you need to open up a door in your head. And if you start thinking about it, then you can't open that door.
I guess. But I'm chilling. I just feel like more like I took some speed or something. Rather than truffles.
Maybe my sense for you being fast is not necessarily my perspective, but maybe you are a bit fast. I don't know.
Now you made me aware of it. Now we even talked about overthinking. Am I too fast?
This is kind of funny though. I'm not gonna lie.
I think like I also got to say this because I'm the one that bought them and had a nice conversation with the woman, and these were actually the second mildest on the list they had, right? But these were the best ones for talking, she said. But not the most visual kind, so to speak.
Okay, well, I'm definitely high, so.
But
jeez, yeah, like you know that slow motion effect you get when you smoke a joint and you're really, really high.
Yeah.
That's what I'm having right now. I know that's the first time I got really, really high. Actually, at this place, that was I got a full weed joint, and I wasn't really used to that, and I smoked it in one sesh.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, and I know we used to smoke together.
Yeah,
and then do a full weed joint in one sesh.
But that's still shared.
That's shared, and I didn't quite think of that, so I smoked a whole fucking weed joint in one sesh.
Man.
And then I had to play Uno afterwards. The card game.
Not possible. Not possible.
No. I could literally like think like, fuck, I need to put down a card. And then like slowly seeing your hand going there and thinking, dude, you have to be way faster than this, bro.
Bro, I remember when we talked, like, I think the first time I got high, I was 17 and I was looking.
I mean, I got high for this. Is the first time I really
okay.
But I don't want to interrupt your story.
I think like, now since this is kind of like a druggy podcast, we might as well,
Yeah, we can make it about drugs.
We had I think the first time I smoked weed, I was 17 and I was on a bench at a canal, and I was with two good friends, and just like, first time smoking weed is very interesting. Sometimes like I didn't really feel too much,
I don't think you get high the first time you smoke weed. At least I didn't.
Yeah, me neither. The second time it hits you, but the first time it's kind of like still chill. But I remember this. Oh, that was the funniest shit. Cause we always had a friend who said he couldn't get high, right? Cause he's like, oh, I can't get high, no matter how much I smoke or whatever, I don't feel anything. So we're like, all right, bet. He visited me here, right? And we gave him a whole fucking hash brownie and smoked a joint before. And I remember that we were all playing Scrabble, right? Having a good time. And he just like, right, looking at the Scrabble board, I can't do this anymore. Down.
And that's how you know it. Yeah. But I don't know. I think for smoking, some people also just smoke incorrectly. Like if you don't really smoke over your lungs, then you don't really get high as fast.
True. Also true.
Something you need to kind of practice.
Yeah, true. Took some time.
Oh boy. Do we really want to go out there and list the drugs we took?
We don't have to. I think weed is kind of like I mean, we live in the Netherlands. My dad bought me weed, actually.
He did?
My dad bought me weed. He wanted to see what a coffee shop looks like. So, we went into Rappelsteltje, shout out.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, of course I picked a good one. I was not gonna put him to like a shack, but, it was a good vibe. And my mom knows too, even though she's hesitant, but she knows.
Yeah. Well, I can tell the story on the podcast, but I think.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I can't say too much, but it's really a good story. But there are too many parties involved in this story.
Yeah,
that's why I can't.
And that makes sense. Like just because we're stupid enough to say, "Oh, let's make a podcast on psychedelics and put it online," we don't need to put other people down. Yeah,
I would like to refer to my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent.
Fifth Amendment, just like in a podcast. No, I have said enough. Walk out.
No further questions.
Would be interesting, man. It's one way to do it.
You know what I hate about drugs in general? Becoming so fucking self-aware of all the little things you do.
I'm not that self-aware right now.
No, not right now, but in general about drugs.
That's true. Because you're way more in your mind.
Yeah.
You overthink shit.
Yeah. And they're like, why do I do that?
For me, that's especially weed.
Yeah.
Especially weed.
Yeah.
Like if you smoke weed, like, I don't know, a couple times a week, then at one point you sometimes have these like highs where you just feel like, fuck, what am I doing with my life? And like whatever you do, especially if you're in a social setting, shit fucks you up. Shit fucks you up.
Yeah, I don't like smoking weed in social settings that much.
True. I think being crossfaded is fun sometimes, but like it can also fuck you over.
For me, it's fun when I'm at my place.
Yeah.
But I also had it last time we were at yours for your birthday.
Oh.
Then I also was pretty crossfaded, and then the first thing I do is I'm gonna go home.
Makes sense though. Like it's just also rough sometimes, and then sometimes you just also blank out of conversations. You're just like not present. Anymore.
Yeah.
Especially during COVID, where you're not used to it anymore.
No, that's just a bit too much, and that's the thing in general with when I get crossfaded. Yeah, or I need to be more on the drunk side, then I always stay. But on the other side, when I'm that aware, then I think I'm just sit with this one out at home.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know what I'm feeling right now? I can feel my brain.
I can feel my brain. Also very glad actually that we're recording this.
Yeah.
Because I think we're going to have some interesting conversations that we don't really will remember.
Also true. This may also be an XXL episode. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm so not aware of the time, by the way.
Well, there's time on the laptop.
Yeah, I know, but like it also feels like for me, like maybe 10 minutes ago that we started to eat the truffles. But I know it's not because the lighting is different.
But the light fades so quickly nowadays.
Yeah, that's also true.
Man, I can't wait for spring or summer. It's gonna be way more of a vibe.
It's so fucking cold too. I was standing on my balcony last night, like,
It's rough, man. It's rough. I also still don't have a heater in my studio. I'm going up there mornings, man. It's rough. Rough.
And that's the thing now. I think they're open again, but that's a real issue with COVID is homeless shelters.
Oh, that's actually true.
I think they open again, but now you fucking freeze to death if they don't take you in.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, because they need to have some employees, right?
Yeah. Fuck.
No.
But homelessness, like, also getting a bigger and bigger issue in America. Like,
yeah.
LA is crazy.
I wanted to talk to you about this because LA are kind of becoming slums right now.
Yeah.
If you see some pictures, you don't think that's a first world country. But I had this random thought with my girlfriend and I wanted to share it with you because I think you kind of have the same.
Okay.
You also see the American flag in my room. I used to admire the States. I never actually went there, but I really wanted to go there and even live there. And I was admired by the States. And I noticed that through these last years, especially the last year, kind of faded.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be interesting to make a documentary because I feel like this is a global thing.
I think so too. Like, especially Europe. I think it's a Europe thing.
And I think it can be quite intimate and nice to make a documentary about it where we go to the States and just try to figure out why is this love for the States fading?
Yeah. But I think because you just hear, if you think States, like, I think I really admired, like, when I started football, like 14. I mean, back then, Obama was president. Like, everything seemed so shiny, right?
Yeah.
And so glamorous. And so, like, this is where the world happens, you know? And now you just look at it like, maybe Europe isn't as exciting as the headlines wise, but living is so much better here.
Yeah. But I thought it would be cool to kind of just answer that question, like, hey,
yeah,
where is this coming from?
Yeah, I feel that. And I still like the States, but I know what you mean. Like,
they kind of lost that little touch they had.
Yeah. Which is the weirdest shit, like, for me was when, cause I was in love with the United States from, like, ever since I turned like 13 till I went there with 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was 5 years necessarily of anticipation to go there, right? And I remember this vividly, like, cause first of all, cause of course it happened, like, cause I went with my best friend, right?
I remember it vividly, cause also it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, also true. I mean, 2.5 years now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's also crazy how fast time goes.
Yeah.
But I remember we landed in Seattle, right? Which was also like one of my favorite cities in the States because like the anticipation was crazy, right? And then you're there, right? You land and you realize I'm still breathing air. This is not like, you know, whenever you see an American like vlog or something, you're like, oh shit, America, right? Then you're there, it's like, this is like a place like any other else, you know?
That's also what they say, right? Never meet your idols.
Yeah.
Like some people are really afraid to meet their idols because
and it makes sense.
It's just a regular dude.
Yeah.
Or girl, for that matter.
Yeah. But for me, it was like, I expected this like, something different, you know? And then it was like, well, you know, we're taking a train. This is beautiful, you know, like Seattle, especially like the mountains and like the trees they have in the city. Fucking beautiful. Mm-hmm. Fucking beautiful. But like being there, it just felt normal. And I mean, I had the biggest scare too, because of course, like I put, me and my best friend put all our finances to this one trip, right? Blow all our back. Like this is all money we had. and we almost couldn't enter the country.
Oh,
So I was, checking in, like I got my like ESTA file or whatever you're gonna call it. You just got to fill out a form that you don't fuck goats and you're not a terrorist. Then you enter the country and it's all good. And then you pass, right? And my friend typed his password number wrong, right? So we, after like a 16-hour of traveling, right? I'm at the airport, like with the luggage, just like talking to like the airport security chick, like, yeah, will he make it? And then 40 minutes later, the dude walks out and he made it, But we were the last in that airport. It was crazy.
Fuck.
Also, like the Seattle airport, like the flying beautiful, but then they have this, like, I never saw an airport that had that. They had like a shuttle system. They had like in the airport type of like a metro station with like wagons and shit.
Oh, I've seen that before.
It was crazy. It was a good
Where
flight.
did I see that before though? No, I've definitely seen that before. I can't remember the
London
place.
had it too, actually.
Yeah,
Gatwick.
London. I've seen it in London.
Gatwick.
Yeah.
But that has, no. This is,
At least when you try to fly to London and then.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. I started reading a comedy book.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
Just on a whole different note.
Yeah, sounds good though.
And I really liked the first, like the prologue, I guess. It's just one page that usually just says something random. And it just had one sentence. And it said, a book says more than 1,000 words.
The book says more than 1,000 words.
Yeah.
I guess. You mean like, do you think that depends on the title or on the content of the books?
I don't know. I think it's just a cool play because people always say like, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And then you can say, well, a book has over 1,000 words. So.
That's true. Like that, because that's like the ironic thing about it, right?
Yeah.
But I was thinking like, why? I was questioning it, Why would that be? I've also been reading also an inspiration for me while we're doing this episode. Because I think from tarot and like the spiritual side, a lot of it is connected to psychedelic. And it makes sense, Yeah, it's like mind opening.
Opening the doors in your mind, right?
Yeah. And so I start reading a book of Alan Watts. It's like a British philosopher. I don't know if he actually has anything to do with psychedelics, but he has a lot of interesting ways to like interpret life, so to speak. And I don't know. It's just it's crazy to me that like people like we have celebrities, right?
We do.
Yeah, we have like people that are important to like a certain group of people, right? But that depends. Like your celebrity can be someone completely else and someone else's celebrity. Mm-hmm. But the term celebrity is just so like Hollywood, in my opinion. Yeah. But it's not like...
It's also hard to determine when you are a celebrity.
Also true. And I don't think most celebrities see themselves as a celebrity. I think the upper echelon ones, they definitely do because they have to.
Do you think Kanye thinks of himself as a celebrity?
No, I don't think so. Also, there's a lot of examples, man.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Dude, everything is so fucking green in here.
That's actually true. This is a green-ass kitchen.
And I don't know if it's the truffles, but you kind of... Because, okay, my kitchen has green walls.
Okay.
But I feel like they kind of reflect green on you as well. And I haven't... Yeah, I think that's my eyes that normally do that. But now I really notice it because of the truffles.
Now that you say it, makes sense. Like you also look green. Also really, like face-wise.
It's really green in here, isn't it?
It is really green in here. But we also don't have a light. I mean...
I could turn on the light, but...
Man, it's also... I love...
Like, getting up is like...
I get that.
Do I want to get up?
I get that. I can turn it on.
No, I can also turn it on. Don't worry.
Walking feels weird, I'm going to tell you.
Ooh. Kind of feels like you're drunk, to be honest, if you walk.
Like... But I wouldn't say like I'm feeling that much right now.
No?
Like I feel something, but then that's also the question with drugs if you don't know how you're supposed to feel. Right?
Yeah, I know. I just know that I can't really keep up with conversations and I'm really aware and therefore I think it's hitting, but I don't know.
That's also a question. How much of drugs is placebo? Like,
I actually have a story about that, but then I would need to confess that I did MDMA on the podcast. And I'm not going to do that. No. Yeah, well, the first time I did a specific drug, then I was very, what do you call it? That's the thing. I was really aware that drugs can be a placebo.
okay.
So I was kind of skeptic of the drug we were taking. And, it was hitting off for everyone except for me. Because I was skeptic. I'm not feeling shit. I'm really going to focus on the feeling. I'm not feeling shit. But then I was really stuck thinking about what am I feeling.
Yeah.
And then we went on a walk. And then out of nowhere, just...
It's weird. You can't... I think that's one thing about drugs. You can't think about how you feel.
No.
Because if you use that as a measurement, you're always going to be false. And it's always not going to be the best experience that you can have.
Yeah.
If you think like, oh, I should feel more, I should feel, this and that, then...
Yeah, you shouldn't feel anything.
Just accept.
I do know that I'm really not aware of the time. And I'm really aware, if that makes sense. Like, oh, no. Is the conversation we're having interesting enough for a podcast? Are we still in time?
I mean, yeah, we're like an hour in. I mean, our podcasts usually different. We talk about topics.
But, okay, how do you feel feeling-wise? How long do you feel like we've been recording?
I don't know. Like, I know we've been recording for 57 minutes.
Feeling-wise. Because I thought we were just getting started.
Like, me too.
But but that's the weird thing, because I feel like we usually have that.
I feel like it's COVID in July. You don't really know what's going on anymore, but it's still July.
I like that. Should we just keep it rolling and make a Excel episode?
I think so. Let's give it to the people.
I liked it.
Then the question is, who are the people?
14.
Yeah, 14 people in India. Which is crazy still. I haven't ever heard anything of the platform Ghana. Never.
No.
Never. It's a weird thing.
My dude. Do we want to whip out another tea question, maybe?
Rip out another tea question. The psychedelic trip with tea questions. That's a kind of vibe.
Ooh, okay. We don't really have an English word for that, do we? It's just like everyday things that make you happy.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Waking up.
Like going to bed.
Wake me up inside.
No, but like which everyday things make you happy?
Waking up makes me happy. Taking a shower makes me happy.
Yeah.
Doing push-ups makes me happy. Just something where you feel alive makes me happy. Everything that makes me feel alive.
Sunrises, sunsets are always great.
Yes. That first step out of the house.
Yeah. You know what's really hitting?
Yeah.
Everyday thing, but I think because of COVID, we really appreciate it more now. Okay. Close your eyes. You're actually doing
closing
it.
eyes is trippy.
Okay.
But okay, yeah.
Picture this. It's summer.
Okay.
It's in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And you're with your friends driving the car, just,
vibe.
Just for the sake of driving. You don't really have a plan. Maybe you go to some fast food chain to get something, but you're just vibing.
Yeah, I like the vibe. Yeah.
I mean, that's an everyday thing that's fucking priceless.
That is fucking priceless. It is priceless. Like, those are the best memories right there with your friends. In a car, summer evening, like windows still like kind of down.
Yeah. And isn't it weird that usually the best memories and best stories always happen where you didn't intend to do that shit? Like the best party stories are always like, oh yeah, just randomly came up. We didn't plan this party. We weren't supposed to go to this party, but then we went and then it was actually really fucking awesome.
I think it's normal because of expectancies.
True.
Because I think we as people, we always plan a lot and we're always in our head about the future, about the past, about if we're saying makes sense or whatever, There are a lot of things to get in your head about, but expectancies is I think, the deal breaker, right? For example, movie Matrix, right?
Mm-hmm.
the Oracle doesn't tell Neo that he's the one.
Yeah.
Because he didn't needed to hear it at that point. He needed to hear that he isn't. And I think that's exactly the point when it comes to parties. If you expect a party to be crazy, it's not going to uphold that expectation. But if you go in like, oh, fuck it, let's go to this party, you know, and then you go there and then you have an amazing time.
There's definitely some truth to that. But on the other hand, when we went out to Bosnia, for example, we were pumped and we knew it's going to be you.
Okay, that's true. That's also fair. That was also legendary.
I really want to watch the Bosnia video now, but
maybe we'll watch it later.
Yeah.
And again, guys, missing out by aside.
Oh boy.
I don't know. It's just.
I feel like that's too high though. You just, I don't know.
I do say that a lot in general though.
Should we try to get real deep?
Alright, kick it.
Ask some why questions. I feel like we mentioned that earlier in the podcast. I have no idea how much earlier.
I don't know, but these are philosopher's stones.
Let's ask some why questions.
Okay. I mean, since these are Greek, right? Tampanesis, I've been really involved in the Greek mythology shit right now. And what I've been wondering, really like a why question, right? Is why were we so civilized back then? And what the fuck happened in between? Because it was before Christ was born.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really weird. And that is what makes the ancient times so fucking interesting. Because I don't like that term, but in a way they were way ahead of their time. I mean, along with the Egyptians.
Yeah, 100%. And it's just weird that, I don't know. It's weird how that all fell apart. And I know like the plague or like wars that they had, of course, but it seemed so much more.
There was potential there.
The time should had.
And we still see a lot of things of the ancient times.
Yeah.
In our daily life, not just buildings, but also democracy.
Language.
Yeah. Fucking wild.
A lot of shit comes from
What are we doing right now that's gonna be remembered in a...
Like, you mean like our time?
No, that's us.
Oh. Okay.
What are we doing that's gonna be remembered?
I don't think you can plan it.
No.
I don't think you're gonna be... I mean, of course, if you have like a crazy plan and execute it, you maybe gonna be remembered for that. But I think having no plan is the best plan.
Right? Yeah, I think the exact same.
Because you gotta write with the uncertainty.
Yeah, and you kind of also gotta let the universe do her thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If things will work out, they will work out.
Yeah. It's also interesting. This is what I love in like casual conversations, right? Every life choice both of us have ever made has led to this moment, recording a podcast on truffles.
Yeah.
Every single
fucking Leeuwarden of all places.
Yeah. And if we would have just done a slight thing different, we wouldn't even be here.
And you can even drag this further. If our ancestors probably did a slight thing different, then they wouldn't have fallen in love with whoever they fell in love with. They wouldn't have made us.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
It's so interesting.
In general, how similar our pasts are. Like, they're different.
Yeah.
There are similarities in our past. And that's actually the thing we talked about the first time we really hang out with the two of us.
Oh, really?
You don't remember? Or?
about like...
That I think we just had a conversation and we kind of noticed like, we grew up in different countries.
I do remember that.
But there are some similarities there.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
It is crazy. And you have that with some people. There's just certain similarities.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're also the same generation. Like, we're born a month apart. But it is weird sometimes. Like, I mean, I feel like most parents divorce at this point.
Kind of sad, but yeah.
What is love?
Baby don't hurt.
Oh! Hitting it.
Oh, I'm gonna have such a great time making the trailer for this episode.
That's true. I had a lot of fun making the cover for it.
I can imagine.
I was just really in the mood. I was like, fuck yeah, I want to make it.
It looks really good.
Appreciate it. You know, also since last week's episode was kind of also about my weird week, you know, and a week passed, I've been feeling a little better. And I think the main part is to get a break. And also just the schedule I've been doing was just not really, I felt like a machine, you know, I didn't feel like a person doing this. I felt like, oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this, and stress myself out doing it, you know? And I think like the more free, but like still doing shit. That's what I want to do anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds more like you, or like the Philip I know. So that's good.
Yeah. I've also, like I got back into designing, which I really like clothing line.
Yeah, because that's the thing I wanted to ask you earlier, because I saw your tattoo again.
Oh, yeah.
Of your clothing line. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, I've been...
Other than the brand logo still being on your body.
With a date. But years passed, you know? Weirdly enough, it's almost a year to when I got that tattoo. The 19th January 2020.
Hey.
Also such a wild year. Like looking back, so much shit happened in this year. It's weird to me, but getting back on track. You know, I designed my first T-shirt yesterday.
All right,
felt good. All right. So
can I see your tattoo? Did you get it redone at some point?
No, I mean it's a year old, so we got it done in our boy. Who else? Who else?
But I remember during the healing process, it didn't look too good.
That wasn't that one. Oh no, that was that one.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Because it looks pretty. If I just look at the tattoo, I wouldn't say like anything happened in the healing process. You
can kind of see it, but like not much.
I don't really get that close to you, bro. And
especially during COVID, I'm safe.
I'm not even wearing my glasses. Awesome. I can just see the shape. That's it.
And green, because this room is really green.
It is really green.
Oh, green room.
Yeah, room green.
But yeah, it just really hit me like how much happened in a year.
Yeah, crazy. How life was different
for all of us.
Yeah, just everyday life. Because of course every year things change, but I feel like our whole daily life and our rituals, our rhythms, and Jesus, never mind.
You know, we didn't slaughter a lamb each morning, so it's kind of different.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we didn't sacrifice a virgin every blood moon. Now we do it every day.
Exactly. Oh, man.
You know, tell you a funny thing. When I read the first 2 T questions,
yeah,
I thought, I'm doing this way too fast. We're never going to make it to the end of the episode. But now we're already an hour in. And I felt like I've been doing it at the same pace. It's kind of weird.
Now I do really feel like these be hidden though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's cool.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, for the people listening, I just opened another tea bag. It's a very interesting question now you say they are hitting, but what's something that... Ooh.
Yeah. Mike sliding.
What is something that truly makes you sad? I don't know if this is the question for right now.
No, I mean, it's fair. I think it's good to also go those places. I think also expectancies. And what I've realized makes me really sad is like the amount of pressure and amount of expectancies I've put on myself rather than enjoying the moment. And that's something that I really need to learn. Like, and then what I'm trying to learn right now is just really focusing live one moment at a time. Of course, sometimes you got to plan shit ahead, you know, and it's good that we as people can do it. But in general, if you are in a moment, why try to be somewhere else in your head? And I think I was that for the past half year, where I was always in my head and never in the moment.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that was just really destined because I put a lot of pressure on myself that I have a feeling I need to be great.
Yeah, because I think because that was the first time that I noticed that. That makes sense.
Okay.
Because I always thought of you as someone who's going to achieve greatness.
Okay.
But it would just come to you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time you talked about your stream and I asked you about the name. And then you also pointed out to me that you kind of feel like you're destined to achieve greatness.
Yeah. And the tarot card thing makes it really weird.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those things where it's like, it makes you like, when I first heard it when I was like 15, right? Just for the viewers, should I explain it, I guess?
Yeah.
I mean, before it doesn't really matter, but my mom started to go to a fortune teller when I was like 8, started going to when I was 8. And then she first told me about them when I was 15. And she told me that the fortune teller that she's been seeing has been seeing greatness in me. That my mom cannot imagine what my life will be, right? And hearing that when you're 15, you're like, okay, first of all, what the fuck, right?
Hold up.
But then, which like happened over the last like 4 or 5 years, the fortune teller has been saying shit that doesn't make sense. Like she couldn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like details like she called my sister being pregnant twice. Like on the dot, right? Before my sister knew.
That's crazy.
She knew about me moving. I never mentioned it. But like, she's like, she said, I'm going to meet my girlfriend. Like she's been spot on with like certain things that's just scary and not generic. Like she told me like, when I'm like with my girlfriend now, she told me, yeah, you're going to move away and you're going to meet someone that has blonde hair that you're going to build a relationship with. And I'm like,
right. I mean, those odds in the Netherlands are
okay, yeah. Okay.
pretty high.
But you didn't know I was going to the Netherlands.
Yeah. And still, you're not dating a Dutch girl, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And then I guess that being said, like with her always like, and I was there twice myself now, and she also keeps telling me the same shit.
Does she ever say anything negative that you're afraid of it becoming true?
No. That's the weird part. Like whenever like she laid I don't think she says negative stuff in a certain sense. I don't think she does it. But you lay 36 cards, right? That's almost a fucking deck, right? Like half of it. And it's just like every aspect of your life, and it's just a lot of things where I'm still confused. Like certain things haven't really come true yet. But there are certain persons where I could see like maybe, you know, but then life never knows. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's weird to have that on me. It feels like a weird expectancy.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
dude, I'm not gonna lie. You sitting behind fucking tiles in the background is kind of tripping.
The tiles?
Yeah.
Are they moving?
Well, not necessarily, but they're very straight, very linear.
Okay.
They're kind of, I guess it also comes from graphic design. They're kind of creating this, right, where you frame something, right?
Yeah.
So it makes me very aware that's the background, that's the framing. And then I see you and I become very aware of your movement because I'm kind of starting to see those lines as frames where...
No, I see that too. The one thing that's kind of irritating, like if this would be a movie set, this wouldn't be good because the shelf you have in your background, or you just has to have a lot going on. Like it's not linear, but I still like, I know what you mean. Like the focus on the detail is there.
Yeah, and I know we're definitely drifting off from what the fuck we're talking about.
I know. Yeah, my week. I felt myself a little bit because I've really been following a schedule, and maybe it's also because I expect myself to be great. Which sadness. That was the tea question. The tea question. The goddamn tea question.
It all comes back to the tea.
It all comes back to the tea. And yeah, no, but I think exactly from that I'm scared to not live up to that. Is my sadness.
And what exactly would make you sad, that you don't live up to yourself, or that you don't live up to other people's expectations?
I think it's a 50-50. I definitely know that other people are big aspects of our lives, and it's tough to say, oh, I don't care how other people think of me, you know? But I don't know, it's just if you want to achieve your dreams, you just gotta lay that layer above. People are gonna talk shit. People are gonna say things behind you, you know, behind your back, and what you make of it is just what you make of it. You got to make the best of it. That's how I see it. But what about you? What makes you sad?
What makes me truly sad? It's just, mine's not rich, but other people's sadness that can throw me off as well. That's kind of weird.
Like other people sad? How do you mean? Like if another person is sad around you, then you start feeling sad?
Not necessarily. I can really feel bad for someone. And it shouldn't be affecting me in that way.
Okay.
But I guess it's just really emphasizing with someone.
I have that too, though.
And then you can like feel that sadness, and that can throw you off, even without you really noticing.
What I have when it comes to that, right, is I sometimes feel like I'm stealing myself or I am... Because exactly what I mean. Because of that empathetic ability, I learn from other people's mistakes, right? Which is a good thing. But then also think ahead and like cost myself the pain to endure it myself, if that makes sense. And also the pleasures. If you go the sadness route, did you ever also go the other way around?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, with feeling sad. I mean, when other people feel great or when they achieve greatness, I can really truly be happy for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a good thing.
And I feel like people say that, but I really mean it when I say I can truly be happy for someone.
And that's great. That's great that you can say that. It's mine. But I don't know. I had this thought that sometimes, because I'm in my head a lot and I think about other people, or like we both are people that are very empathetic, which is also ability. Oh. I don't know. It just felt like the light switch started moving for a second. I don't know. Now it's just truffle talk.
What's kind of trippy? If you look at your microphone grid and then look at my face. Isn't that kind of weird?
I don't know. It just like looks like a microphone.
Yeah, but for me, if I focus on the grid on your mic, then it's kind of, I don't know, kind of weird to me.
Like if you focus on it, it's weird. I don't know.
Oh, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
I interrupted myself because I saw the light switch turn. I think what I sometimes do is I take pleasure away from me if I imagine certain people and how they could feel in a hypothetical situation that I'm simulating in my own head, if that makes sense.
How do you mean exactly?
Well, sometimes if I think of a person or if I dream of a person, I take that situation and I empathize how the characters would feel in the story that I'm making up in my head. And then I take the pleasures from that as well as the mistakes and apply it. So I feel like I'm stealing myself from pleasures in the future or pains that I need to endure. But technically I do. I don't know. So I don't know if you can follow me with this, but
half.
Okay.
Like halfly. I think I know, but that's the weird thing. But everything in your mind, I think I know. Like I think I'm following, but am I? I don't know.
That's also the thing, right? Everything that we have, right? No, not a single person in the world can ever be 100% certain of something.
No. Even your own eyes. That's kind of fucked.
We can't trust our own senses and shit.
I think this was on the JRE, but your memory also gets rewritten every X amount of years.
Which is crazy.
That's ludicrous.
It doesn't make sense. And then there are those people who can remember a certain day. Have you ever seen one of those persons?
Yeah, if you ask them, let's say 1963, then they know
the news, the weather, like all that shit. And of course you can memorize it, but like that's a weird thing to memorize. Like I think people just know. I think really good memories happen and exist, and it's a rarity that they do exist.
Yeah.
Everybody is truly special, whether they see it or not. But I believe that there's something, because I like Buddhism, for example. Right? Buddhism teaches about I think they have 8 senses, but I have no idea about Buddhism.
Then they start the existential thing, like just like you said, like existing.
Kinda. I don't know what you're going at, to be honest. But yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Like being aware of the individual.
Yeah. Like, what they have, and I know that they have, is the sense, the 8th sense. That is the common.
The 8th?
The 8. I can't pronounce the 8, the th. It's just, I'm German, so that's my one struggle I have with English. I think my English is pretty well.
Oh, it's amazing.
But I can't.
Amazing. And the weird thing that's really baffling to me is that you master the American accent, right? When it comes to the British accent.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
So, what do you mean? So, like, what accent I have?
Well, that you can do the American accent flawlessly, but when it comes to the British one,
I can't.
See? You bloody fucking wanker, mate.
Even though people have said that I'm British. When I was in the States, I asked them where I'm from, and they said UK, and I'm like, bitch.
Yeah, but you also gotta think about, for Americans, you have America and then UK.
Europe doesn't exist.
No.
Especially not the countries in Europe.
On to another tea question.
Oh yeah, sure.
A really interesting one.
Oh, wait, I had one thing I wanted to say about Buddhism.
Oh,
they have one thing that they call the collective consciousness, and that ever goes along. Like, basically, that's what's connecting all of us, and what's connecting us to our ancestors. That we share the consciousness that they had before.
I think we talked about this in a podcast even.
We did?
I'm not sure.
Maybe, but I like it.
Doesn't even matter. Just go on.
But I like it. I like the thought of it.
Yeah.
I like the thought of it and it makes sense necessarily too, I think.
I think so. I think it's hella annoying for the podcast if I keep, but I'm also hating this mess I created right here, so.
You're just asking yourself too many questions. Yeah. And I don't think the tea questions help you.
Oh, but this is such a good question though.
Okay, then go for it.
What's a skill you still want to learn?
A lot of skills. I like, I don't know. I'm just also talking out of my ass. But I don't know. A skill I'd like to learn would probably just be, I don't have a specific skill, I'm just going in life, and if there's something that I need to learn, I learn it. There's not a certain thing that comes to mind. It's like, I want to learn that right now.
No? Like nothing? Even very simple.
Like Spanish would be sick, I guess. But I don't know. Give me an example then. What do you think?
Well, I would love to be able to solo better in music, if that makes sense. Because right now I can solo, but I really need to think about the musical theory that comes with it. And I would love to be able to just play music. But I'm also not too sure how that works if you can solo, for that matter. If you really still have the music theory in your head, or if it's just muscle memory that brings you there. That makes sense.
Okay, so you mean that, so like if you want to play solo on the guitar, or like what skill are you trying to learn?
Yeah, like soloing in guitar or piano or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Just in music in general.
Okay. That's cool though. But it's like a mental thing probably.
I think so, yeah. Because I'm trying to get into it now. But for now, it's really still a learning process. Like really learning. And I feel like the beautiful thing about people soloing in music is that they get lost in the music. And I'm not there yet. That makes sense.
But I think it's because you're overthinking it. And that's the same, like, also when it comes to a podcast, right? And right now, the situation that we're in, you're like, maybe it's time for another tea question. You know, like you look at certain things and you wanted to appeal it to other people, right? And that's exactly what put me in the slump that I was in. Try to do it with your heart. Try to do it, feel like it. You know, you don't give a shit what everybody else is thinking about it. You do it for yourself. And that's the key to producing high quality product, is by not thinking how other people would think of it. And it gets tougher and tougher in this world that tells us to be analytical with our content, or it tells us to analyze this, analyze that, learn this, learn that. And I think theory can also sometimes deprive yourself from you being you. If you learn too much about a certain topic, oh wow, you learn a lot, you know, but if someone just picks up the guitar and starts playing, he learns as much, and he does it his own way, and he has his own style.
Yeah. I get your point. I do. And actually, that's the thing I really love about this podcast, is that we don't really have an approach or a method or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it seems kind of unprofessional. And then looking into our future, I would have this as a reference to... Just as a reference.
Oh, 100%.
Because it just kind of shows that we treat life like spaghetti, right? Just throw it at the walls, see what sticks.
And that's the way to do it.
Yeah,
I agree. And I'm really grateful for this podcast.
Oh,
because
same.
It's a great therapy session. It's, I don't know, it's also just always a great vibe. Eating truffles. It's just having a good time.
But you have no skill that you...
I mean, of course, like there are always things that I look at that like, oh, I want to know this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this actually.
Okay.
The thing that I've gotten into this week is skateboarding.
Oh, that's sick.
Well, here's the thing. Because I like doing music, but music is something that kind of comes to me naturally, right? Like thing is, I can learn pieces, but it's kind of comes natural to me. So it's like, of course, that's how it works. But with skateboarding, it doesn't come natural to me. And it's a real finesse to learn how to do tricks.
Okay.
So that's a cool new type of learning process that I'm going at right now.
That's fair. I never learned skateboarding, man. It's a sick thing to do, though. I did it like when I was like 8, 10. But
it's not necessarily about skateboarding, but more about doing a skill that doesn't come natural to you.
Also fair.
Learning that. Then the learning process is really fun as well.
I can imagine. Like, it's weird how certain things feel natural to you. We have that natural sense of comfort and uncomfort. And I think that's how it is. If you step on a skateboard, you just feel less comfortable than if you're in front of a mic or like playing the guitar.
That's the weird thing. Like riding is really, as I think that's also what got me into skateboarding. That comes natural to me, but when it comes to tricks, it doesn't.
Okay, but I think that's different, anyways. I think you gotta defer the tricks from the playing. Especially, do you look up tricks and how to do them?
Sometimes I do.
And I think weirdly enough, the internet, it's exactly what I just said with the tutorial part, right? It's weird. We have so much knowledge and combined knowledge that we can read, that we can apply. We can always like how to do this, and I'm always Googling how to do this, how to cook spaghetti. I don't know, you know, basic shit, you know. But I think that takes away the magic of it, the uncertainty, the just trying and being in the moment.
True.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really into that right now.
I gotta say, same. Also with skateboarding, I don't really look it up, and it's really nice to just figure it out yourself. And actually, I think both of us weren't into cooking when we met.
Yeah, not really.
And I also started to get into cooking, and also more of a, fuck it, let's try this out, see if it works.
And I think it's a really good thing to get into. Cooking benefits you a lot.
Yeah.
I need to cook more. I'm also getting lazy sometimes, it's also.
What do you eat? Because I know you always say, it's spaghetti bolognese.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yesterday I had falafel wraps, just like lettuce, lettuce, corn, tomato, cucumber, falafel, put it in a wrap, eat it.
That's good.
Then what? It's also like a tough question because I always ask myself, what do I eat? Like from a daily basis.
But eating is such a weird thing.
It is.
Not just that it's fuel for your body, because if you break it down, it's just fuel to your body, right?
Yeah.
But it's really weird how you can do something you love. You can go on a holiday. But even when you do something you love, you always have to make sure the food is good as well.
True.
Like food is a weird thing, and it's part of a ritual even. Because if you just have to eat food real fast, it doesn't hit the same.
The food doesn't hit the same if you can't enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of a ritual. And just eating is part of our... It's weird how big of a part of... Even through all cultures it is. We make time to eat. We spare time to eat.
Well, we kind of need to eat.
Yeah, but we make a whole thing out of it. Because if you break it down, it's just fuel. We don't need to prepare it in a way that it really tastes nice. We don't need to take a big part of our day. Which is not in it.
The drain behind you had rainbow colors. But yeah,
there's no need for us to make it such a big thing, but we do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of crazy about food.
That is kind of crazy. Food is a weird thing, and I treat it like I don't give a fuck. Sometimes, you just eat it because I eat it as a fuel. But I think it's nice to also see it more as like a, ritual and take time for it. And like, especially I've always been eating like in front of a TV, never in a conversation and stuff. And I think that adds a lot to it. And I need to get back to doing that. But it's just so nice to watch a Netflix show while you're eating.
I know, right? That's why I love this room actually, now that we're back at my place.
Yeah.
With my girlfriend. Because usually you just eat something and watch something on the TV. But now with this kitchen, there's no distraction and you can just enjoy your food.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, just for your daily life, it's nice to have a break from everything and just have no distraction. Yeah,
I like this kitchen. It's like a room, which I like. Our kitchen is more like a drive-through.
And it's green,
I gotta pee, but I also start seeing things now, which is not making it any better. But should I pause it for a second? It makes sense.
I mean, if we do already be
enough.
Oh, this is kind of pretty though.
This looks kind of pretty, right?
Yeah, it does.
But everything looks pretty. I also looked at the glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
we ready?
I gotta. Sometimes I think a lot of it that we do is in our heads.
Yeah.
In our mind. That for me, for example, like it was just the association. I drank a lot of tea. I looked at my tea and then I said like, oh, if you drink a lot of tea, you gotta pee, And that's why I went peeing. But then I realized I didn't even need to that much,
Since we're in the whole thing of fuck it, we're in the moment. Should we do some weird things, not necessarily podcast based?
What do you mean podcast based?
I don't know, because right now we're in a very stationary position.
Yeah.
I would also like to look at the Bosnian videos. So.
All right, so you want to end the podcast? We can.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, we can. I mean, we've been doing it for...
It's kind of cool to hit the 2 hour mark, though.
then let's talk for 20 minutes, and then we can do some other shit.
Yeah.
Because what I was getting at, right? I feel like sometimes our mind has a lot of power, and even when watching The Matrix, which I watched yesterday, it's interesting how they switched and how they treated the world. If you know it's a simulation, if you know if it's a computer game, because you treat life differently, because all your anxiety, all your stress, all of those things, they would be gone. Would you live a better life? Where would you be if you would think that life is a simulation?
Yeah. But that's the thing, you're not allowed to go there.
But here's my approach, right? I'm saying it's good to think that life is a simulation.
It does give you comfort.
But you gotta believe it. And that's the other part. Belief is important.
Yeah. Oh, it really broke it down to the existential question again then. Huh? Talking about beliefs, like religion and that type of shit.
Religion is a weird topic.
Yeah, it is weird to me. Because I do think it's truly beautiful that people believe in something and that they're willing to dedicate their life to something. And I feel like when it comes to religion, whenever you feel like it makes you better as a person and you do want to do good in the world, then fucking great. But once you start harming other people because you believe that's what your religion wants, then that's
fucked up.
Yeah.
Belief, but that's the thing with belief. If you believe, you believe. Like there are the two kinds. If you believe in religion, but you don't do certain things, do you believe in the religion then? Because if you're asking questions yourself, then you're also your own person. It's not like religion is this one thing that you need to listen to. It's just an impulse. But if you have different impulses, for example, if you look at religion and you like break it apart, like you said, like go to war, all those things.
Yeah. I kind of lost the train of thought. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like this is like this truffle really makes you, like for me at least, like I feel like a philosopher.
Yeah.
I can just be out here like, talking some shit.
And the weird thing is, when you are talking, and you say shit, I'm like, I can rattle about this and that, but once you stop talking, they're like, what were those things? You immediately forget as well.
It's like a brain. Yeah, it's crazy.
So we just gotta be in the moment at the same time, and then we can talk for forever then.
Also true. Could we
the same brain
talk forever? Is that a thing? What is forever? What does it mean?
What is time?
That is a fucked up question. Is time a construct?
Well, I thought about this the other day. I always thought that time would be linear, right?
Yeah.
If you would visualize it, it's like linear, like that. But what if life is like circular, but ever expanding circular? That makes sense.
It's like an infinite amount of circles.
Yeah.
Or like loops.
Yeah. And then deja vus would also make way more sense.
Deja vus would be crazy then.
Because at some point in the circle, you're going to be at a point where you've been before, which is just further away from the core, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's also true. That's also, I don't know. It's time in itself is such a weird thing, because like we spend so much time, like I said before, like in the future and in the past, but not focusing in the current moment. But your theory makes a lot of sense, even if we look at like the Earth, rotating around the sun. It's always rotations, and like that's what time is. That's what we say time is. We don't even have an idea if time exists, because everything on this planet is just because some dude said it, right? And it can make you really uncomfortable if you think about it, right? It's like, yeah, like the gas that's like keeps us warm. Yeah, it should be safe. I don't know. It's, of course that's tested and everything. We have.
Yeah, it should be safe.
Don't want it, but like necessarily, it's just some dude sitting somewhere. Like if you break it down to like the inventions and then people who commercialized it, It's two different things. Right? If you look at Edison, like fucking doing a light bulb, he was probably fucking freaking out. Imagine you fucking made a light bulb.
Crazy.
It's revolutionary. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just a weird thought to have. But time in itself is just very revamping.
And I like to think that we, as a society, try our best to make time more tangible. If that makes sense, by making a clock, setting alarms, agreeing that hey, this is 8:30, and you also think it's 8:30, so we can make appointments. But in a way, we have no control over time at all. It's not tangible.
I think it's just the human nature that we want to control things. And time is a perfect and so universal thing, right? We would make time zones. Have you ever looked at how time zones look? They're not straight lines. They're fucking cricket. They make bends. And I'm looking at it's like, why? In what world does it make sense that if I go to London or whatever, there are a couple of places in this world where I can jump in change an hour? Like, what? And then we have the summer things like, oh yeah, the sun does this, so like we have a day more. It's like, who said that? And everybody is like, right, yes, we have a day more. But no one thinks about time because everybody just takes it as granted, right? And we're not out here trying to invent a new system of time, but it's just a great way.
But that's the thing. Again, what you're trying to do is you're trying to make time tangible. You're trying to make a system out of it, but not.
No, exactly. But that's what humans are. Human nature is to make it tangible.
Yeah.
That's why we have the system that we have. Because human nature is like, fuck it, we gotta control it. So we make the system. But it's not the fucking system. That's with everything. We don't know shit. We just do it and it's there and it's like, this is it? Like,
yeah.
You know, we're recording a podcast, but it's the motion that we need to do is having a conversation. You know, but in the end, it's the finished product is a podcast. I don't know. I'm just talking bullshit at this point too, man. Yeah.
I just love letting you rattle on.
I don't know. Now I'm put on the spot, you know? It's always like...
And that's the thing. Now you're thinking too much again.
In the moment, yes. We're always in our heads. It's like, oh, am I saying too much? Like, even podcast-wise, like, I always want to give you space to talk, for example. Like, that's something that I look out for whenever I do a podcast, so... have something to say. Now's the time. But that's just in our minds, you know? And I think the same goes on in your mind too, and you're just gonna let me rattle. That's your whole point. God damn it. Well, still. It made sense. Oh, shed a tear. Don't let me rattle, man. Say something. Out here crying.
I just love how you kind of...
Yeah. No. You say something.
Doesn't make you feel uncomfortable when I put you on the spot like that?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like having a mic and this whole scenario, like, it really helped streaming. Because at one point, if it's 5 hours long, you're just gonna stop giving a fuck, you know? In a good way. Don't mean this in a bad way. But you're just like... The reason you're camera shy is because you're aware of the camera, or if you're aware of the microphone. But the trick is to not be, you know?
Yeah.
To just acknowledge it. Like, it's there. Man, you let me rattle. Come on, say something.
No, but I'm loving this. I love saying real.
Oh, man.
I'm just gonna ask random questions and then see where you take it.
But that's now it's the question where I'm like...
And the funny thing is that you keep rattling on and then you kind of go in this tunnel vision, but then every time with you, remembering that I'll let you rattle on, you're gonna get pulled out of the tunnel vision again.
Exactly. Because if I start again, I know I'm gonna be in some type of like, you know, have my mind in goal, like what
But is that a comfortable position for you? Do you always want to be in the tunnel or outside of the tunnel?
I like being in a tunnel. I'm not afraid of it. I think, you know, sometimes when you talk, like I have it with talking. When I talk and I talk and I talk, and then when I hesitate and I think about what I just said, that's when it comes to hold. But I think it was good what I said. But just me being aware, me not being in the moment, me just not letting me speak properly, you know, rather than being in my head about it, is stop, man. You stop letting me rattle out here. You say something. I'll put you on the spot. Do you like being in the tunnel?
What do you mean by being in the tunnel?
In the zone.
Of course, the zone is great.
Okay, then what do you define as the zone?
You really want me to rattle now, or do you
Yes. I want you to rattle.
Well, I guess you can talk about the zone being the spot of doing things. Also, what we talked about earlier, when it comes naturally, and you can just talk on for forever or do whatever you want to do. Even if we talk about time, then time doesn't exist. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
In the moment you do something that you really love, time doesn't exist.
Facts. I don't get that's you rattling. You're like, I'm saying like it seemed like an educated bitch. You had prepared, then like, but okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
No, I'm just observing you right now.
It's weird. You start like, I definitely have visuals now. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's interesting, you know?
It definitely is.
I don't know. You know, last time when I was on Truffles, I felt like everything was 3D rendered.
3D rendered.
Yeah, like in a computer program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing right now still.
Yeah, I can definitely see the 8-bit vibe more.
Yeah.
But it also kind of looks like your frame rate as well, if that makes sense.
What does that mean?
Like you're kind of lagging.
I'm lagging?
No.
Oh, I know, because like it happens. I know what you're talking about, like visual wise.
Yeah, visual wise, it's like lagging. That makes sense.
Yeah. This is weird, man. Also, now it's like those were okay. I was okay. Never mind. Mm-hmm. I just looked at it like those were 10 minutes of human time units, but I don't know what is time again. You know,
what is love?
Baby, don't hurt me. That's still
Nice.
gonna be the one. That's gonna be the one question that's always gonna be there.
Yeah.
If your name is Vladislav and you're from Russia, shout out. I actually know someone whose name is Vladislav.
You know someone?
Yeah, who's Vladislav. Actually, no, it's kind of weird, actually. We were like in a middle school, right? And I went to like a Realschule, which is like like they have gymnasium and whatever the fuck, they probably have the same or like similar shit. I don't have no idea what I'm talking about. The Dutch school system, something different. But I don't know. We just had this kid in our class. He was like 10 and we're like 16 and he was just in our class, like doing the lessons with us. And not because he was like extra smart or something. I think it had different reasons that we didn't know as a class, right? But then that's the thing. Sometimes our education system, right? The education system is something that's very broad and very not specific. No, it's not made for each individual. It's just like, we teach you, certain things. But when it comes to this, man, I feel like I'm rattling again. It's exactly. But educational system, it everybody is broad, but it's not individual, right? And what they sometimes try to do is exactly like what happened in the case of the 10-year-old being put in art class, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a question for you, right? If something like that happens, if they probably had the reasons why they put that 10-year-old in our class, right? but they never disclosed to us the actual reason. And I think that's where they were wrong. I think they should have let us know why he was in the class in the first place. But high school was also a mean place. So maybe he would have been bullied.
Yeah.
And he was, to be honest. His name was Vladislav. I sang it all the time. But still.
Do you want to fuck with that, though?
But that's the thing, like the power of acknowledgement, if we're aware of certain things. What do you think it would be better in that situation to let the other people in a class know why a 10-year-old is in your class, or you disclose it and keep it private between you and the child?
That's a very interesting question. And wait, what was it again? Like,
I mean, I still don't know why. I think I painted my own picture why, but that necessarily is not because, we were ever told why he was in our class. I forgot the actual reason. Like, I think they just introduced it to him. Like, oh yeah, here's this kid. He's going to make classes with you. That's how they did it. They never said anything more. And it was weird, having a 10-year-old in your fucking class. He was there for like a couple of weeks. But it was not because it was like, it was Realschule. No one give a fuck. It's like gymnasium for like dumb people, It's what it is.
Yeah.
At least dumb people,
Yeah. Well, what is dumb, Philip?
It's also, oh, God damn it. Man, this tough question. I don't think our measurement of intelligence is off. Because we measure intelligence based on education sometimes.
How would you define intelligence?
God damn it. You're just really going to keep this going. Huh? You're just going to throw me random questions. But I guess intelligence... I wouldn't define intelligence like anything. When it comes like, there are these certain tests that you do as a kid, for example, like to determine, this is your, intelligence level based on these sort of tests that you went through, right? Have you ever did one of those as a kid?
I had to when I was tested for if I was dyslexic. Dyslexia, sorry, if I was tested
That's
for
a good... Yeah.
Without going off to other weird strain of thought, but I did do like an IQ test if that's what you're going at.
Okay, but like, what do you remember anything of the test?
I remember I needed to. What are you smiling at, bro?
It's just
I remember that I needed to repeat. Like I had the person who was taking the test would say, let's say numbers, like 5 numbers, and they needed to repeat those numbers but in reverse.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they just tested how well you could keep up with that. That's what I remembered, but I don't remember everything that I needed to do. Okay.
Makes sense. I mean, I think I have done one as a child too, but I have no idea what the fuck it was.
No?
No, I don't know. I remember I had to draw a circle. It's my one memory I have from it. Someone told me draw a circle, and I drew a circle, and then I think it happened. But that was like my only evaluation that I had in that sort of sense. I think it was before they put you in the educational system. Now that I think about it, it's kind of weird. I think it was a government building.
What? Perfect.
Yeah. Like, when I was, I think like, when you go to the elementary school, they have these recommendation letters, like, which I think like, this student is suitable for this type of school form. Do you have that in Dutch?
No.
The way Germany basically divides intelligence is if you put through elementary, right, and then basically you filter. So the less intelligent ones go to Hauptschule. Then
and what age is this? Already
10.
Oh, 10. No, we do. At some point we do. I don't want to, because of course you have what is thought of to be smart.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that, because I don't want to call people dumb.
Yeah.
But exactly. Like with the standards of the school system, that's
also what I meant.
Yeah, but that's at age 12, I think. That's when we start.
Age 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, and how do you have like multiple? Like, how's your school system set up? Like, what happens after elementary school? Like, are there options for like each kid? Because in Germany, it's like after elementary school, we have the 3 different forms: Hauptschule, Realschule, and Gymnasium, right? And each one is like, Gymnasium is like, like smart people, Realschule is like the semi-smart people, and the Hauptschule is like, but that's how school divides it. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a fair way of measuring intelligence.
No.
Because you're immediately being put into a bracket. And when you're 10, I was in the Gymnasium thing, but I think it also had to fuck with you if you're like Realschule. And I knew a couple of like my friends back then, right? It was weird, like a form of, like being split up, separated, right? Because you send these kids like different schools, and some are like more snobby, so to speak, than others. But I don't think, because it's necessarily like the whole school system, like grades are so subjective on the teacher that you get.
That's very true.
Like, so the whole school system to me is bullshit. But what's interesting necessarily is how they structure it, right?
Who's they?
That's also a good question, but
they always come back to the they question.
It does.
We're about to hit the 2-hour mark here.
Oh, nice.
Do we have an overall? Well, the overall theme of this podcast is taking the truffles.
Yeah.
So for closing this, might as well episode.
I'm fucking tripping, right?
Yes. Maybe for people listening who didn't do drugs before, how do you feel right now? Like, what sensations do you have?
I definitely feel the philosopher's thing, right? Which is also something we touched upon in this podcast.
Yeah.
It's about the sensation of like being in the zone, and like when you're talking, and then when I hesitate and you think about what you're saying, then then it slows down, and then you can't say anymore what you wanted to say, rather than just letting your speaking form your own opinion, if that makes sense. And now I'm talking out of my ass again, but I think what these truffles do is I think they enhance that.
Yeah.
They enhance the tunnel vision that you have sometimes when it comes to certain topics, and you can just talk forever.
Yeah, I think the same. Do we also want to get into the visuals? What are you seeing right now?
Everything is like moving somehow. It's like, I don't know, just like small wave shapes. And it feels like, it just feels like wearing glasses, and they're foggy.
Yeah.
But like weird.
Yeah. Or like drunken glasses. Did you ever have to?
Yeah, true. Drunken glasses too. Man, those drunken glasses,
they are so much worse than actually being drunk.
100%. But then also, do you just think that? Because to be fair, if I'm drunk, like sometimes if you're drunk, I think your vision kind of is like that. How is he going to simulate it? Blackouts? Like, you just put a fucking black sheet in front of you. Call it a day.
I don't know, because the drunk vision goggles I wore, basically they just, because it can never do the same effect as if you were drunk, right? Because you're not.
Yeah.
So they just work by reflectors. So they just took like what you saw 6 times, for example. But I never really had that when I was drunk.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, fair. I think it's definitely different.
Yeah.
From being drunk. But how are you gonna really simulate it with glasses? You know, that's tough. It's a difficult task.
It is.
How the fuck are you fucking with these glasses to make it look also like fucked up? You know, it's kind of weird that we can do that too.
Yeah.
It's a technology in itself. It's kind of like a flex. Like, look at what we can do. I'm talking out of my ass again. But I mean, we hit the 2-hour mark.
We did.
And I think it's also interesting to just, I guess, don't think about the podcast while having a conversation. So I think with that said, having a podcast, if you want to experience truffles by your own, I'd recommend like grab a couple of friends, just find a place you're comfortable in and just have conversations.
Yeah, it really does help to have a conversation. And I think the setting needs to be appropriate, if that makes sense. Because I like we're rattling off, but at least we're rattling off in positive vibes.
Yeah.
I feel like you can also rattle off in negative vibes. So now at the end of the episode, thank you for listening.
This time we didn't fuck it up. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. It's been a ride for us.
Been a trip.
It's been a trip.
Quite literally.
And if you have remarks regarding this episode, please leave a voice memo, please.
Yeah, please. We're getting desperate. No, but you know, if you feel like it, reach out to us. If you don't, then don't.
That's also very true. I mean, we've been going on for like how many episodes now?
12.
12. We still haven't got one single one.
Look, it's not about that. It's about making the podcast.
Yeah. I know. But that's exactly what I said when we started recording this, is that it's pretty baffling that we just always weekly do this.
True.
And technically we could call it a break and then have a break and then do season 2.
We could.
But somehow we're not, and we're still recording this every week. We get together and do this.
I kind of like it though.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't feel real. Because of COVID times, like it feels real, and not in that sense, but like, because time is such a weird thing right now, especially during COVID, right? Because we don't even know what the fuck day it is. And it just happens in like, because it's like an hour of every week. It's like very revamping. I like it though. It's like a good session.
It is. Well, without us rambling on and sidetracking too much.
True.
We'll call it a day. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate everyone who listens.
Very much so. Might as well.